Trump had just ended up doing a meeting with a lot of private oil company, and now here is a conclusion. Most of the oil companies are refusing to invest any amount of money in order to extract a crude oil from Venezuela. And there are multiple reasons for that. Any sensible person will be able to guess those reasons without a much problem. I'm going to be breaking down those exact same thing based on a report/research, which I'm going to be including on a description if you want to take a deeper look into it. So let's start with the very first thing. After Donald Trump ended up carrying out and giving a permission to carry out a military operation in order to kidnap a Venezuelan president, now the country is on scramble right now, which has got a new government now, which basically means this new government is going to be cooperating much more with the US government in order to let them extract crude oil from there. But there is a one major problem that we really need to understand. In order to extract a crude oil from a Venezuela, in order to extract it and in order to basically make it usable and sell on a market in order to make a profit, it required a lot of infrastructure, which required billions of dollars on investment, and the US government is not looking forward to do that investment from their pocket. Venezuela doesn't have their own money which they are looking forward to basically invest on creating an infrastructure that is needed in order to convert that raw crude oil to a usable oil. And on top of all that, who is going to be the one that is going to be bearing a cost in order to develop all this system which is required in order to make it usable and sellable on the market? Then we have got our answer. Those are going to be a private oil company from USA or West who are going to be investing money from their pocket, billions of dollars, which will be used in order to build a system which will extract the oil, make it usable and sell on an international market. And it required billions of dollars on investment. We are not talking about couple of $100 million, or it is really easy to do so. So for that, all these private companies need to basically form a corporation and invest a lot of money, and they are refusing to do that right now because of a various reasons, and one of that reason being instability on Venezuela. Now let's assume you are a private oil company, you want to basically extract oil from Venezuela, sell on a market, you got a permission because of a US military action, and pretty much everything is under US control now. For that to happen, you have to invest couple of years and couple of $1 billion in order to create a system to extract that, and in that couple of years anything can possibly happen which can lead to you getting sanctioned again, or which can you not getting in a chance and opportunity to basically extract the oil again from Venezuela, because government on Venezuela is not stable. The military action and military control that US has got on Venezuela can also be temporary. So let's assume you are going to be investing $30 billion as a private oil company in order to extract oil from Venezuela. It took you 3 years in order to completely basically prepare everything which you are going to be using in order to extract the oil and sell on the market. Now Trump presidency completely end, and the new president United States is going to be getting is not completely interested with the idea, which basically means they call back all the military control on Venezuela. Venezuela is again fully independent and they have their own government again, and that particular new government or even a old government, as soon as the military presence is completely removed from Venezuela, can again put a sanction on private US company who have invested billions of dollars and not let them extract that oil after 3-4 years from now. In those case, all the billions of dollars that they have invested on Venezuela for a purpose of extracting those crude oil and sell on an international market will be completely waste. And that's exactly the same thing which has happened on the past as well, where a lot of private company ended up investing billions of dollars in order to extract oil from Venezuela. The government change ended up happening, and that government ended up restricting private company from extracting those oil and selling it to United States, or a United States private company to have control. They started selling that oil to China and Russia. Same can happen for the future as well. We very well know how military control is something which doesn't provide any form of a stability for a private company in order to go on that country, invest billions of dollars and basically extract the product and resources and sell on international market, until and unless there is a proper commitment from a United States or military that we are going to be having a proper military control or presence for next 10 to 15 years. Despite administration change on United States, despite governmental change on United States, no matter what happens, private company need 100% assurance that for next 10 to 15 years they will have a proper control of Venezuela oil resources. Then only they can consider spending billions of dollars. And what has happened recently with a military action that was approved by Donald Trump is they have got a temporary control that can go away as soon as this administration change. Military might not be able to control it fully. Private company require a couple of years and billions of dollars in order to create a system and infrastructure that is needed in order to extract those oil and basically make a profit. With all of these things being completely surrounded, no private company with a proper mind or no private company who basically look for a profit are willing to get on board with the idea of Donald Trump letting private company go on Venezuela in order to extract those oil and invest billions of dollars, because they are 100% sure after this administration it change or after a couple of years from now they are going to be facing a lot of problem, and billions of dollars they have invested on Venezuela in order to create infrastructure and the system will not be worth the effort for them to extract that oil, make it usable and sell on international market. During the same period of time, Donald Trump is going on with the idea of buying a Greenland and basically increase a military presence over there, blah blah blah. And if European countries start taking action against all of those basically thing Trump has been doing recently, they start putting some sanction on a private US company on Europe, make things difficult for them, it will be even more difficult for them on a future in order to sell those oil that they have extracted from Venezuela, because again US will not be able to consume all the crude oil that is being generated from Venezuela alone, right? They have to sell on other market, that can be India, that can be China, that can be Europe and many other countries. And if the administration of United States right now, Donald Trump administration in general, doesn't have a good relationship with a lot of countries, which basically means they can directly purchase the oil from Russia, they can directly purchase the oil from Iran or many other countries without US being a mediator. They can choose not to use a dollar as well, they can choose to use a euro. If we are talking about European country, India has been using a Russian currency as well in order to purchase oil directly from Russia rather than using a dollar. China is trying to do exactly same thing and doing in a multiple cases, which basically put a lot of problem just for a purpose of extracting oil from Venezuela and selling on the international market to make a profit, and it doesn't make worth it for a lot of private company. Again, there will be a private company who might be willing to take a risk and who might be willing to take a bet if they get some form of a, let's say, support and some form of a tax credit or benefit from administration and government. They might get on with the idea and willing to take a risk, but for that we need to have a probably couple of more meetings between Trump and private oil company, and there might gonna be required a lot of effort from a US government in order to convince this private company to invest money on Venezuela to create a system and infrastructure that is used in order to extract those crude oil and sell on international market. And as there are going to be a more information, news or a progress on something like this, I'm going to be making video in order to inform you. So that's it for this video. If you're watching this informative video, give it a thumbs up. If you like watching content like this, do not forget to subscribe and press the bell icon. I'm going to check you out on the next one. Till then, take care and bye bye.